comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane. Vixen and all his reindeers pulling on the reins. Bells are ringing, children singing, all is merry and bright. So hang your stockings and say your prayers, 'cause Santa Claus comes tonight. Here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane. He's got a bag that's filled with toys for boys and girls again. Hear those sleigh bells jingle, jangle, oh, what a beautiful sight. So jump in bed and cover your head, 'cause Santa Claus comes tonight.
Good evening, race fans and SRA Nation. Welcome to Division 6's rendition of Season 5, Round 3 at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I'm your host, Douglas Mitchell, and I am joined today by the GOAT, Austin Whitscarver.
Ooh, it's always good to be called the GOAT, even on my second broadcast, so seems like I left a good impression on D2 somehow.
Needless to say, you were invited back, so that's a good sign.
Exactly.
I am excited to bring D6 content again for the third time. These guys are spoiled. I should say guys and girls are spoiled. So, loving it. And tonight we have a short roster of 14 people, but that is not going to stop them from having an incredible time out there. So, let's take a gander at the track map we're racing at tonight. Here we have Indianapolis Motor Speedway, aka Indy, and it is a tricky track. What would you say, Austin?
Yeah, it is. It feels very icy at times. Also very bumpy. So you got a lot to play with when you're going through. You don't always feel the most confident going through some of those turns, but you get used to it.
I fully expect turn 1, lap 1 is going to be a parking lot, and then it's going to sequence into 2, 3, and 4, basically all of sector 1. It's going to be a cluster, and then it's going to weed through the rest of sector 2 into the hard braking zone of turn 8, and then if the drivers aren't sorted by turn 11, it's going to get messy. Sector 3 is really fast, and the banking corners of the portion of the NASCAR oval is actually integrated into turn 15. So if cars are still on top of each other, it's hard to take that flat out, and we've seen quite a few people in other divisions slide out and collect themselves into the barrier. So I'm interested to see how these drivers navigate the 2.5 mile track here, which is actually a shorter track on the season calendar here, but it doesn't feel like it is.
True, and just looking at time wise, it's on track with I think Brands Hatch is one of the ones that kind of mimics the time wise, and that one feels like a very short track, but this one, a lap seems like it takes forever, especially when you're chasing down somebody or having to defend from somebody as well.
You're not wrong. We have tuned in to qualifying, the very tail end of it here, and you're seeing that Anthony Calvi here of the Badman's Intergalactic was actually having to back out of his lap because he was on the bumper of the car in front. So not something you want to see in a qualifying session for yourself because it's going to compromise a lap, but hopefully can manage to improve the time for the next lap. But as it stands, Anthony is on P3. Right now, Fari Henry in a very similar, actually the teammate of Anthony, is sitting in P1 with a 138.1, which is a couple tenths best of Candola in the BMW. But Candola is 1/10 up on their lap at the moment, so it's going to be close. Gonna be close here at the top. Any people standing out in the roster tonight?
A lot of people. I know there was some faces that got moved up, and some new faces, with the nice red tags. So ever-growing league. But yeah, Fari, he's been standing out. You know, he did actually improve on his hot lap time that's on the website. So he looking pretty fast today, along with Harvey Candola. I know you mentioned both those guys. They are looking pretty fast today on these tracks.
Yeah, and then Schaefer claimed P1 with a 136.9. That is a full 1.2 seconds faster. Needless to say, that is going. If that pace is proceeds to find itself during the race, it's going to be a basically first like pole to first place finish without any contest if they can finish with that kind of pace.
And also, I know you're on board with Philip here. I got the other picture-in-picture camera going. He is up 0.6 on his lap right now. I'll move him up quite a bit.
Yeah, and he's hitting the apexes there. Loses a little bit of time in that section, but that's okay. Is gaining some back on the oval part here as it goes back into some more infield traffic. Hard braking zone here. Misses the apex and invalidates. So that is your final driver of the day for our qualifying session here. That is unfortunate to see from Philip, but at the end of the day, it's a small grid. I think that qualifying is not going to be super problematic for most of these drivers. They're going to be able to sort themselves out on track to really show who's the more dominant force to be reckoned with. So, are you keen on any particular driver? Austin, you there, buddy?
I'm back. I just had a little bit of a hiccup with internet.
No, you don't need the internet for video games, do you?
No, definitely not. I'm a big part of it. I think Candola is gonna have a good race today. Seemed like he was very patient throughout qualifying, put in some good laps, and just as long as he stays out of trouble, you know, turn one, obviously, I think he'll have a hot start. But commentator's curse, we'll see if it plays out.
We can only hope, right? I'm looking at the server. It looks like the server might be having some issues too. All right, we're joining. There we go. All right, drivers are on the grid. There we go.
You know, as we look down the grid, my favorite part about waiting for the start is watching all the cars bounce up and down.
Really? That's your favorite part?
Yes, because it brings me that small entertainment and joy factor of it's just like they're doing little bunny hops while we're waiting here.
I can appreciate that. Well, let's return now that the server is back and our drivers are chilling on the grid. We can do a cool little flyby to show off some of our neat liveries here. I lied. Do you remember what camera it is? What button it is to do free cam?
F7, I think.
Is it F7?
It might be.
Okay, well, we'll take a look. Well, right now, Calvi did not click drive in time and is starting from the pit lane. So right off the bat there, you hate to see it.
It is not a fun pit lane to start from either. It is very long and very slow.
No kidding. So we're on board here with Logan Schaefer as he does his outlap. Let's see as we commence through the field here. This isn't working like I intended it to. Oh, goodness gracious.
You might have followed a car.
Yeah, that's okay. I try to do free cam and try to do something sexy, but the software and the servers being a little bit janky definitely prevented me from doing so. But that's okay. We're back in it.
We'll get to see plenty of their wonderful liveries throughout the night, so.
Yeah, we're gonna be focusing on quite a few here. So Schaefer, Henry, Candola, Bootsma, and then Rudda at the top 5 here. You can see the grid's pretty well mixed up in terms of like manufacturers, with BMW being the most favorite, but a lot of front engine cars, not a lot of mid-engine or rear engine like the Porsche that we see Lorenzo running here. But I'm surprised to see so many front engine cars, but they are very beginner friendly, and D6 is the division that hosts our least experienced drivers. And do you think there's a correlation there?
Yeah, and I mean, there's also, you gotta have the sound enjoyment too. They're very beefy in sound, so that also plays a part into maybe wanting to pick them compared to some of your rear engine cars.
Oh.
But they are very curb friendly. You can go over those curbs and just, depending on which track you're on, eat them up and have a good time.
Speaking of having a good time, our drivers are now going side by side into the final sequences of corners here. We are about to kick off this race up the embankment of the Motor Speedway NASCAR Oval, and we are underway here on the start-finish straight. And it sneaks up on you. This is a long straight, long pit row. And the start kind of catches people off. You're already seeing the grid placements there. So let's see. Everyone gets a pretty normal start. The back in the Mercedes, the Bootsma has a pretty good run. Turn 1, lap 1 is a parking lot on Indy. Let's see how the drivers navigate that. Everyone's seeming to
had a good start. He got a good jump on some of the people in the back there.
Everyone making a pretty decent run at it, but a couple drivers do connect, unfortunately, and a driver turned around. You hate to see it. Back up the grid. So that was Lestreese, definitely, or Last Rise. I did that last week. I tried to pronounce it like a real name, and it's Last Rise having an absolute moment, unfortunately. Anthony's still in the pits, now leaving the pits, and Last Rise teleports to the pit.
Yeah, it just looked like the Honda missed the braking zone for turn 1 and got to the back end of them.
Lap 1, turn 1, a host of problems for many. Right now, Calvi's trying to fight back through Sector 1 to catch back up to the grid. Shouldn't be too difficult, as we see the likes of Smith and Compton switching places here. The grid is pretty tight-knit, apart from Schaefer. Schaefer has already built a 2-second gap to the front, driving away with this one.
You know, I think yesterday in D4, I saw about a 17-second gap. I think the leader decided to take light fuel and pull away and refuel halfway through.
Oh my goodness.
Strategy.
We just saw Compton, I think it was Compton. Yeah, Compton absolutely missed the braking zone into one of the final corners and plowed through into the different foam pieces. Unique line, to say the least, but back on track, quite literally, and pushing to now catch up to where they were before, behind Papadopoulos.
Thankfully, the escape road is there for a reason, and it has a nice U, which brings you back on track, so you're not having to go through the grass, but it looks like he decided to go through a little venture on the grass.
No harm in that.
Yeah.
No harm in that. But the closer bits of the track here, we have... Oh, as soon as I go back on board, Philip Bootsma has an absolute moment. And right behind also, Gaskin has a moment. Let's see what happened. 15-second replay here. Philip just hits one of those bumps that you were talking about earlier, Austin, and then just proceeds to spin out. That's a setup issue. And then the McLaren behind gets on the brakes to keep it out of the back of the BMW and then starts to initiate a slide. that we're going to be looking at a lot of problems with that braking zone, I imagine, because it's turning while braking.
And having no real braking reference points. It's got a lot of feel to it.
You're not
Can
wrong.
I go in a little deeper today, or am I feeling a little more safe?
Oh, and Papadopoulos also having a moment. Let's take a look. 15 seconds back, we're taking a look here on the brakes. Oh, it comes together with another Honda. That's Compton, the Honda of Compton. I think those drivers are teammates.
As teammates, you never like to see that happen.
They
you
are
want to
definitely
try to bring home as many points for the constructors as possible.
They are teammates, and I just saw Compton take out another foam board. I want to see again. Let's see. Yup, it's like he's trying to collect them. You do not get extra points in the championship for the more boards you hit, unfortunately for him. But he would be scoring pretty high if that were the case.
He would be. Also, looking back, it looks like Papadopoulos went on the escape road as well.
It's the scenic route that a lot of drivers are enjoying.
Yeah, we're gonna start a bowling game today. What's the score gonna be at the end of the race for boards?
Speaking of more issues, we have Gaskin here going off. Let's take a look. Yeah, again, it's the slow section. That this track requires patience on the throttle. If not, the momentum carries you out into the off-road there, just like we experienced. And then Bootsma going side by side with Compton. More good racing from these two. Bootsma had the outside line, couldn't get the power down. It's sliding all over the place. Bootsma either needs to increase traction control tremendously, or it's a huge setup issue.
Yeah, I know. I had to do a lot of work for my setup this week, more than I'm accustomed to. So I learned real fast, but it was a good time. Yeah, it depends on if you get on the power just a little early, your back end will not like you.
No, it slides out real quick. And Gaskin just having a nightmare of a race. I've been keeping an eye on Austin, and he's been just dropping down. Speaking of dropping down, we have a parking lot here. Papadopoulos and Calvi coming together, slowing down and trying to rescind the position. Hopefully getting some benefit of the doubt from the stewarding team there. But Papadopoulos' Honda is looking like it's a handful at the moment, unfortunately.
It just looks like one of those moments where you're in the street and you meet a stranger and you're like, no, you go left, I go right, kind of thing.
Who got to the stop sign first, right?
Exactly.
I think we're going to be having a side-by-side. Oh, the camera angle was deceiving. It looked a little bit closer than that. Both drivers go a little deep into turn one.
I don't think it was the camera angle. I think Gaskin did back out a little bit there.
Okay.
Just looking at the timing, it was fairly close. I think they were about a tenth off.
Gotcha. So my eyes were not deceiving me. Good to know. A little bit further up, Bootsma is still trying to get traction in this yellow Mercedes, catching up to Compton, but it's proving to be quite difficult. You see they're close, but Bootsma is desperately trying to maintain traction. Oh, Papadopoulos oh my goodness. The struggle is real for this one right now. We'll stop giving you the commentator's curse, and we're going to follow on the hood cam of Candola here. Candola's putting some crazy pressure on Fari Henry in the McLaren in front.
They keep fighting, and the more they keep fighting, the farther the leader Schaefer is getting out here.
Oh, as you see Fari go really wide.
He's about 10 seconds up right now.
Yeah, Schaefer is having an absolute field day at the front. Right now, it's like basically a vacation, a road trip out at front.
Yeah, you can't sleep on it, though, because if you start kind of slowing down just a little bit, these two will definitely get back in there and start putting a fight on for first.
Anything can happen in these races, we have found. Oh, speak of the devil. Candola stuck it up the inside and took out Henry into the apex. We got replay here. Really brave on the move and just not, the move was never there. But gives the position back out of respect. But yeah, now both drivers are going to be suffering with some cooked tires. That's tough. That's tough.
Yeah, I know that turn 8, definitely hard to get the braking zone right, especially with the toe. You're going in a lot faster than you think you are, and you don't see your typical braking zone if you're on the inside there. Definitely gotta judge the braking spot a little tighter.
Better to be safe than sorry.
Oof, not a good turn there, actually. There was, I think it was Smith that went backwards into turn 13.
Yeah, you hate to see it. On the main cam right now, you have Nate Allen and Tim Soik, teammates here in the AMRs, in the purple AMRs, from worst pace scenario, and they're both just cruising right now in P5 and P6 respectively. They're also driving respectfully of one another, being teammates, so I guess that works. But yeah, they're cruising right now in their own little place in the middle of the field here. Trying to track down the likes of the green Porsche Lorenzo. But these drivers are all a pretty hefty margin away from our front leaders. Checking back in the back of the grid, we have Bootsma having another scenic route. This Mercedes proven to be quite difficult, but respectful on the rejoin there, and doing a celebratory donut for added measure.
Rejoins are always tough. You want to try to get down on the gas, lose a little time. Sometimes you get a little too much onto it.
Yeah,
hey guys, sorry I'm late.
Oh, there's our guy. Welcome.
Yeah,
Jerry
I had work
Finkel.
Very late tonight. I'm so sorry, guys.
That's okay.
Yeah, well, we're all adults. We have our lives going on too.
SRA is not the most important thing in your life, and that's coming from me, so.
Well, I appreciate it, guys.
No
Hope
problem.
I didn't miss too much.
No, we are vibing, to say the least.
We have another board gone down in turn 13. We are getting.
I think I just saw 3 boards go as
Yeah.
I did a server here.
We've started kind of playing bowling with it, trying to see how many strikes we get throughout the night or spares.
So how many have we gotten so far? Any or?
Quite a bit. More than you'd think.
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
More than you think.
Yeah, just went a little deep into 13, a little late dive. Thankfully, no contact, it looked like from the helicam, but it's unfortunate.
Some action on track is developing. We have Tim Soik and Nate Allen, teammates, like previously mentioned. Nate Allen looks to be a little bit faster than Tim, so we might see some team orders. And because they're slowing each other down right now with the added pressure, Lorenzo Ruda is now in the mix, only less than a second behind, so hunting the two down. And Tim is just hoping that his teammate doesn't put too much pressure, but meanwhile Nate's begging probably, let me by, I got more pace than you, buddy. And that's exactly what happens. Nate gets by in a slow sequence, but that lets Lorenzo go side by side with Tim now and loses a position when the awkward exchange. They should have waited to go on the straight there to let each other by, but Tim is able to attack again. Will there be overlap at the braking zone? There seems to be a sufficient amount. Both drivers hard on the brakes into turn 1. Tim very respectfully gets on the brakes. Plenty of respect to Lorenzo on the braking zone there and lets him get on through. Had the real estate to attack, but elects to be a little bit more patient. Calvi fighting side by side down the straight. I see you have it in the pip also. The two drivers, Calvi does get by Compton. And reminders for those watching that Calvi started in the pit lane. So being back up into P9 is awesome.
good start, you know, kept it clean with his laps, you know, not making minute errors, just pushing and catching up to the pack, and you know, that paid off for him.
Yeah, it's paying off even more here. Still attacking. We have Smith in the Beamer in front. Calvi is making a move also as Smith goes off.
You know, those are always your
bit
favorite
unknown.
overtakes. The one where you just put a lot of pressure on somebody and they make the error and you just stay on your line and don't have to make a little dive.
Yeah, and
Move on with your race.
Compton was able to get past Smith also in the off shoot there. Bootsmuth's still putting some pressure on Gaskin at the back, but at the front we have Candola putting some pressure on Fari Henry again. So previously, Candola did collect Henry in the passing attempt. Let's see if he can make it by cleanly in this rendition, because it looks like Candola has the evident pace over Henry.
We'll see if he gets through, because he does now have a 25-second gap to make back up if he wants to, you know, challenge for the lead.
Bootsma has a moment again. It looks like Philip is really quick in the Mercedes until the loss of traction, and then they lose a hefty amount of time on track.
Well, it looks like Smith is going for a move here at the wide braking zone. Over here at the long straight here. They both brake. There's some overlap there.
And both drivers are really
inside,
respectful.
hits the curb a little bit, and is able to take the position. Well played.
The Beamer has the best brakes in the business, so it helps out. But Compton's not going to go down without a fight. They're going to stay in the mix for quite some time. Back at the fight here, we have Candola still all over the back of Fari Henry here. I'm taking bets now, boys. Schaefer is 27 seconds clear of the field with only 15 minutes of the race down. I am willing to bet that Schaefer, if given no penalties in the pit lane, can lap the entire field.
Ooh, I don't know if he's going to get the entire field.
28 seconds now. If we compound that 3 times over, that leaves still 15 minutes left in the race. That's a minute and a half. Candola does get past on Henry, because Henry does go a little bit too deep into the first sequence of corners here. And now Fari is praying that Candola makes a mistake.
But yeah, Doug, I could see him maybe. I mean, it's hard to call it right now, but I think I agree with you. I could definitely see him lapping the field, especially if he keeps on this pace for the next 40 minutes or so.
Schaefer in P1 has the best lap of the race with a 137.3. That is fastest by 1.4 seconds.
That's a lot of seconds.
I get this right. Calvi just made a nice clean pass into turn 1 there.
Nice.
Now he has a 20-second gap to get up to 8th. Or not 8th. 6th, yes.
To pass Soik in the 108.
Yes.
But he's still a good distance off from there. But looking at his pace too, his last lap is actually a couple seconds higher. I'm not sure what his average lap is, but currently his pace is actually making up time on Soik. So we could see down the road where those two are battling in the future.
Already up 7 places from the start, which is amazing considering he started from the pits.
Oh wow, he started from the pits? Wow, that's
amazing. From a mistake on the front drive there. Unfortunate error, not hitting drive. But Tim is it's unfortunate. Tim is now on the front straight here, putting some pressure onto Lorenzo Ruda in front. Tim is looking to catch back up to his teammate of Nate Allen, who now finds himself in P4, which is an awesome performance for him. But everyone else is pretty much stacked out. The gaps are pretty large, apart from Tim on Lorenzo here that we're on board with, and then Compton on the back of Smith. But those gaps are growing. The only other gap that is relatively small is between Bootsma and Gaskin. But every time we tune into Bootsma, which I'm going to do so now, hopefully no bad luck, Bootsma has a moment. So let's see.
3, 2, 1, missed the braking zone. Just kidding.
No.
There we go. He executes it very well.
Papadopoulos in
I do have a question though.
Yeah.
How do you pronounce the driver in the 119 car, the Honda?
Papadopoulos.
Papadopoulos?
Yep.
Papadopoulos. That does roll off the tongue.
That is very Greek.
That.
Very Greek.
Papadopoulos.
I'm willing to bet that Stamati Papadopoulos probably drives with lamb and tzatziki sauce in the car. I'm willing to bet.
Sure.
I'm willing to bet. But the reason we brought Stamati up is because they had another yellow flag in Sector 3. The Honda is proving to be quite difficult. I think it's a setup issue.
I don't think it's going to get better.
It's going to get worse.
Too. Yeah, not friendly on the tires.
Not at all.
We did a
15-second. It is. We did a 15-second replay. Gaskin dives over the apex to get by the Honda of Compton, and then Bootsma because Compton was so stunned by the move, was able to make a move also. And as we see, the 119 Papadopoulos Honda is yellow flagged again, so it's going to be a long race.
That's unfortunate. Now he's parked on the racing line, just waiting for an opportunity. It looks like he is. Okay, there's no cars by. He does drive across the track there, but he's now back into the race here. It's just unfortunate. He's kind of far behind here, but there's still a lot of time left in the race. He can catch up to a couple positions at least if he really puts the pressure on.
You're not wrong. We're looking at a nice gaggle of cars here, Austin, starting with Smith and P9. And then 4 cars in the mix, Gaskin, Bootsma, and Compton.
Yeah, they got to be careful because they do have Schaefer in the back there coming through, and they're probably getting a bunch of blue flags going right now.
Yeah, and the pass right there from Bootsma taking over Gaskin right there. I think Gaskin maybe saw that blue flag and thought the car behind him was trying to lap him there and gave up his position. But yeah, it's kind of hard to fight other cars while being blue flagged and giving up your position without giving up, whoever you're fighting against. Very difficult to do.
You're right, but as we see here, all the drivers being incredibly respectful to Schaefer as he makes his way through the field, and everyone just stays in the exact same sequence, so no one loses out too badly.
Yeah, I mean that's how it should play out in the end. So
100%. Going on board with Nate Allen in P4. He has, again, the conversation continues. The Ruda and Soik, the teammate there, all in the mix, as Soik is right on the back of Ruda. Getting some pace back after getting passed by Ruda not too long ago.
And it looks like Bootsma just made a move on Smith the moment we look away.
Well,
maybe that's better for his race.
Maybe it is better if we look away.
I'm telling you that Philip Bootsma in the Mercedes, as we see the pass done in the final corner, has some wicked pace in this Mercedes. The problem is that they can't keep the traction down, so they keep sliding and having yellow flag moments. But maybe they've addressed it as they drive away from Smith and P10. Already a 1.5-second gap. We're going to head back to Soik here as Soik is putting the pressure on. Oh, very heavy on the brakes. Manages to get the corner anyway, and is putting that pressure on. The only other gap is Gaskin attacking Smith, if you want to take a peek at that, Austin.
I get the right...
Let's take a look in the braking zone right there. A little bit of a dive, but it looks like he's able to get that position and carry a good bit of momentum to be able to secure it going into these S's here.
That is...
I'll go back a little bit to see that move.
Yeah, that is the second time that Gaskin's got away with a big dive up that inside corner there.
The BMW is gaining, though, on the straight, I think. Not enough. We might see another move here. BMW has meaty brakes, and we're already seeing the move. The BMW takes the inside line here barely touching the curb in, and Jay Smith just takes this position right back. What do you think about that, Doug?
We're watching it on replay here. As you said perfectly, the BMW just really brave on the brakes and parks the car in the apex, and Gaskin has nothing to do. Oh, but as we see here on the straight now in real time, Gaskin able to power by the BMW after being in the tow.
That's crazy.
Does take a little while.
Overtakes between those two cars in the last 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
You usually don't see it, but these guys have been trading places so quickly. Like a game of musical chairs over here.
Yeah. We're back on board with Papadopoulos. I have to give them some attention. More yellow flags. I went back, and there it is, a visit to the beach at Indy. I can't imagine that Indianapolis has nice beaches.
I do not think so.
Oh no, here's another one.
I don't want to watch. No. I can't watch.
He hits the dirt and slides across the track.
Oh, we came back to real time, and they are parked like Stance Nation, taking pictures of the car up against the barrier there. Yeah, you hate to see it.
Yeah. I mean, you can't even straighten out your car without driving onto the track. Like, it's a bad situation.
Just a mess.
All around.
Just an utter mess. We're looking here now, we're on board with Compton, who's got a bouncing hood on their Honda, so that tells you that they're carrying a little bit of front end damage, which is never good.
Oh, I hate front end damage.
Yeah, but they're putting the pressure onto Smith and Gaskin in front.
Yeah, for sure. Closing that gap as much as he can there. It's about a 1 second gap right now, but he's trying to close it as much as he can.
Cole Compton here probably has the burden of not only racing their own race, but probably consoling their teammate Papadopoulos the entire time in voice chat. I guarantee it. Saying, hey, it's okay, just keep pushing.
Long season,
right. And now we are seeing... Oh, I'm sorry, go on, man.
Yeah, I was about to say, long season, you got at least a drop race, so...
And this is D6. We understand the precedent here is that we are learning the mechanics of ACC, and once you learn it, like Schaefer has, once it clicks, you start getting some crazy pace, and you're gonna find the likes of Schaefer promoted to D5 next week. I guarantee it.
Yeah, we did have some promotions going into this race from D6 to D5 already that I saw.
Yep, we lost Pat Cockcroft, and I forget who else we lost, but
Williams.
Williams
took the D5
yep,
race
Sean Williams.
last night actually as well.
Yep.
Very competent driver.
Pachiniak, yeah, there are quite a few. Yep. So that's just a testament to these drivers and their effort of learning and growing their skill set, as we see a very close moment between Tim Soik and Lorenzo Ruda. Nate Allen peels off, and so does Anthony Calvi. Both peel off to elect to take really early pits, as we see the likes of the 119 Papadopoulos parked on the side of the track again. Oh,
that's unfortunate. He's taking pictures at this point, and yeah, now we see that pit window open. Some cars going for an early pit here, and we'll kind of see how that works out for him. For me, I did the boat method where I just took all my fuel and then did the 1 liter splash. It didn't work out too well for me. I might change up my strategy next time, but we'll kind of see what drivers are going to be doing here coming up.
It all boils down to your confidence.
Splash and dash.
Yeah, the splash and dash is for the confident, the elite confident. Those who are not confident in the car have to take half and half. Maybe even new tires, depending on just how bad you murder them throughout the race.
Yeah, well, I definitely murdered my tires and tried the boat method for the first time, and I was, by the end of it, I was kind of playing a game of ice hockey a little bit, so...
I hear that.
Yeah. Anyways, looking back at some battles here, we have Soik and Ruda going at it again.
As you saw, Soik take a little bit of the grass there, so lost some momentum on the much-needed straight here. And Candola peels off, one of our leaders, into the pits now also. And someone we haven't mentioned yet is Dan McAllister in the Bendy Brew Ghost Rider Racing BMR is finding themselves in P6, and Philip Bootsma is behind also. As we have a new fastest lap of the race by Schaefer, a 1:37.1. Can you, with literally 30 minutes into the race, not pitted yet, sets the fastest lap.
And that gap is now 43 seconds, where earlier it was, what, 25?
I'm telling you.
When he first joined, it was 25.
Like that. Yeah, so I'm not sure about him lapping the entire pack, but looks like a little bit of bumpage there from
Philip does. Yep, Philip does tap the bumper of McAllister, but again, just concedes, lets them run away with it a little bit, builds that gap up.
Yep. Yeah, just a little bit of damage there, but it could have been a lot worse. It could have been a complete spin right there. And it looks like he might try and make a move here on this corner, or not. Nope, he's just going to make it respectful there. I saw it in his eyes for a second. I think he's going to try and set something up for this long straight here, depending on the momentum he gets through the corner.
Or a lack thereof.
And lack thereof. It looks like he has a little bit of a spin. The TC kind of kicking in there. And, yeah, they're going to continue on battling here.
We'll come back to them as we have Tim Soik all over the back of Lorenzo Ruda. There's no shot that he doesn't get by here. Ruda showing a little bit of defensive
right now,
line.
Side by side. Overlap engaged. Here comes the braking zone here.
Oh, Tim takes such an early braking, which allows Lorenzo to get back alongside again. But both drivers, again, respectful enough to give the position when it's taken appropriately. And now, as you see, Lorenzo, a little bit shaken by the overtake, misses their braking zone for that tricky, slow speed corner section there of Sector 1.
Yeah.
Needs to catch back up. Now might be a good time.
Right here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Bootsma. I went to picture-in-picture, and I went to him, and just as I went to him, he had a little bit of a moment.
It hits the grass.
What happened? Walk it through for us.
He went for the pass to that main straight and I think he just went a little too hard on the gas, needed to ease off onto it, went to turn into an expensive lawnmower and then hit the wall.
You hate to see it. Some front end damage there, I'm guessing?
It looks like it's mostly on the driver's side, so hopefully
he
didn't get anything in the front.
Well, we'll see how his performance fares here going forward. We are halfway into the race now. So drivers that are taking tires are going to have a little bit more advantage for drivers who aren't. And we'll kind of see like what people's strategies are going to be for the second half of the race here.
I can't believe this. Logan Schaefer in the pits took a 41-second pit stop. 41 seconds.
I wonder, so he did tires and body work then, and then half and half fuel?
There's no reason to do body work. I mean, unless he had a moment that we didn't notice, but he should have had a clean car.
That just doesn't make sense to stop for 40 seconds there.
Yeah, and now he came out right behind Lorenzo Ruda, so now gonna be losing time to that.
Yeah, he was ahead 40 seconds, and now he's in P2. It's just...
Well, Lorenzo hasn't pitted yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's the saving grace. Ruda needs to pit.
Sorry, I misobserved that little fact there. But,
no, all good. But so my point is that I thought that Logan was gonna lap the entire field, but with over like double the amount of time that other drivers spent in the pit, his gap has shrunk tremendously.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Could have forgotten to take the tires off on the MFD. I know I did that the other day. Was not happy about it.
Even with tires, that's 30 seconds. He had an additional 11 seconds. That's inexplicable time loss. But this is D1. Ooh!
Yeah,
Did you see Ruda just clip the wall and then go off track? What in the world?
Holy, is that a strike or a spare? What's going on there?
I'll give him a spare for it. He did collect some of the foam.
Oh no, what is going on? Oh, okay, he's going to the pit.
He's going to now. He's taking the super scenic route to the pit lane. My goodness.
Maybe he thought the pit lane was through those signs. I mean, I can see it.
if gap car, but that was taken a little bit too literally.
Also too, I think Ruta is in second gear with the pit lane for a bit. Are they gonna get a stop go 30?
Uh-oh.
I'm pretty sure I it was in kilometers per hour. I have it in yeah, but yeah, I think he was going
I think it's
like
50.
60 or 70.
If you're in second gear,
in the
you're
pit
done.
lane.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see as they exit the pit lane here what type of penalty they're gonna get. It might have been just me misobserving, but I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure they were in second gear there. That'd be unfortunate if that were the case.
Here at Indy, that is a very big race killer.
Yeah, with this long pit lane. So
I mean, it's no Spa, but
yeah.
I mean, it's pretty close to Spa.
30.
Oh, good catch,
You hate to
Jerry.
see it.
But yeah, that's brutal. That's gonna free up the teammates of Soik and Allen to basically ditch their rival Ruta there and just have their way. But looking at the pit lane, the total time in the pit, the shortest time stopped was Compton with just a 6-second stop, which is awesome. That is an incredible stop. If you practice your pit stops, you will gain a lot of time on your competitors in the lower divisions. So we have that, and then we have a Ruta with originally an 8-second stop, but unfortunately, you have to go back.
For 30 full seconds.
Yeah, and Bootsma gets one too.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Bootsma left the pit lane, and it's still saying that they owe a pit, which tells me that they didn't take 1 liter of fuel, and they're not going to have enough time to pit in the pit window. The pit window only has 10 seconds left.
They're going to get not disqualified, but they're going to have I think it's what
it's 130-second penalty.
That's that's a lot of minutes there. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
That's
they just really did not
horrible.
Have their setup for pit lined up here, and he's going to serve his stop go 30 here. But he's gonna have that, plus he's gonna have his minute 30. I mean, his race is pretty much done at this point.
Ruined.
Unfortunate.
Fortunate indeed.
We were talking about how tough it was.
Speed trap record of 257.
Fancy.
Yeah. Just pointing that out. Not a lot going on track right now. Just a lot of people pitting and such.
Yeah.
Schaefer just put in a new fastest lap. A 137.075.
Now he's just kind of rubbing salt in the wound. Now you can see the hood of Philip Bootsma. Not only do they have a stop go 30, but they have a hood that's basically about to pop off.
Wow.
You might as well get it fixed.
I can definitely see the angle on that.
Did you see it? It was enormous.
Yeah, I'm watching it right now, Doug.
It was enormous.
That's like a 45-degree angle. I'm surprised he's seeing out of the front of his car at this point.
Get that nice silver quick tape, or speed tape as it's called.
Yeah.
Taping it
Flex
down.
seal, bro. Yep. Just slap it on there.
Flex seal.
There we go. That's
a lot of damage.
Quite literally. Will it float?
I mean, at that point, you might as well switch to third-person view, you know?
You're not wrong. Yeah, I mean, basically, with the hood that's that open, you're creating more drag than you are able to accelerate. So the car's just a non-factor at that point. Just park it.
Yeah.
Creating an airplane on there.
I was going to say, too, if you got it open enough, maybe the wind will just take it off, and then it's like a projectile to, a hazard behind you.
You will have the old black and orange flag, I promise you. The meatball flag.
Oh, yeah. Are those actually in ACC? Can that happen?
They are.
Yeah, if you damage your car enough, you get the old meatball.
Oh.
Okay. I only know because when I first started out, I did not have a good time. I got quite a few meatballs.
I got myself a meatball on the Bathurst race as I careened and pinballed down the mountain. So.
Bathurst is the place to get it, though. I do not like that track. It's just the mountain just is scary. Let's just put it like that.
It's scary, and if you, depending on where you ding the wall, that is a long drive to get down into the pits.
And it looks like he didn't repair his damage.
No shot.
And now he's understeering every corner.
Oh no.
Yep.
Philip, no.
It's gone from bad to worse.
Philip, no.
No, it's gone from worse to whatever is after worse.
Okay, well, I'm looking at Last Rise now, who had a moment with Bootsma. So, Last Rise goes off.
Yeah, he's opting to probably just go to the pits here. Oh, never mind. He just understeered a lot there. He's just letting cars by.
Yikes.
I wonder if he's just trying to make his car back to the pit here at this point, instead of like returning and just letting cars by, saying, "Hey, like I'm damaged AF, just pass me, please."
I just don't know what would be more beneficial, just returning to the pits and taking the control lock for, was it 3 minutes?
Well, if you can make it to the pit lane, it'll almost always be better to drive there.
Agreed.
But if you can't, you can't. And one thing too is, you know, this guy's doing a really good job of avoiding other cars, but if you cause somebody else's race to end because you had a lot of damage and you're trying to make it around the track, that's exactly. That's unacceptable. So he's trying his best, and he's doing a very good job so far of avoiding other cars. Just trying to make it to the pit lane.
Something we haven't talked about. Bootsma came in to serve the stop go 30. He still has one.
Oh no.
That means that he sped in the pit lane a second time.
Well, the first person was 559, right?
Bootsma, we saw with the 45-degree angle hood go back to the pits after the stop go 30. And did not have it. But where...
It looks like he got it cleanly this time.
I think he did too.
I'm looking at the interior, and I was looking at the timer, the speed limit. It looks like he did get it.
Looks like he did. Yeah, that's.
We can pray. This is a huge learning opportunity.
Please, air damage, please. Oh man, oh no, he's missing his box.
Oh no.
Turn off the end. No, your starter. Turn your starter back. Yep, there you go. Reverse. Reverse.
Ooh, Gaskin looks like he had a moment.
All right.
Take a look back.
It looks like he disconnected.
Yep. Don't see him in the race anymore. Philip called it a quit.
Yep. After that ordeal, he was like, "Nope, I'm done." I would have too. Props to him for getting to the pits. But after that whole fiasco, I would have been out as well.
Philip, you need to get
back
on
at the track here. Alan and Soik, the teammates here, are heading into the main straight, pretty much right next to each other.
Yeah, they're all over each other. Philip, you need to reach out to your conglomerate owners, sometimes maybe good and blind 10, and have them show you the ropes. Tonight was a great learning experience, and they have the onus of making you better. As we see, Nate like Allen does get by Stoic.
Yeah. I mean, looking at the replay here, let's just go back a little bit. I went back way too far, but I remember correctly going through the S's there. It looks like one went a little bit wide through the last S, and the other was able to capitalize on that moment and just sneak by onto that straight.
What you didn't see earlier, Jerry, was that Soik and Allen were in a very similar predicament earlier, where Soik was holding up teammate Allen, so they ended up letting them by. The reason Allen was behind Soik a second time was because he had an additional 12 seconds in the pit lane. So.
Yeah, I mean, like you were saying earlier, that pit lane, if you can perfect that, you can gain a lot of time, too, because, yeah, if your pace is up by, just a little bit on another car, yeah, it doesn't matter if you're lapping, if all of a sudden you have 5 more seconds that you lost in the pit lane. Oh, no. little bit of a lawnmower there.
This turn 11 is catching out a lot of these drivers right now.
Yeah, that turn is I hate that turn.
But update to the foam boards on 13. There's one left. I did see that a little bit ago. I wonder
Is
if
that
we're
a
gonna get.
challenge?
I wonder if it's somebody's challenge now is to get all the foam boards.
Somebody needs to hit it now.
Well, Boomster
It's only
already
a
left.
matter of time.
Philip already left, so.
Yeah, Philip already left, so that's our #1 guy for doing it, right?
Be a hero, join again, and destroy the final foam board.
Oh, man.
Tim goes a little deep into the second to final corner.
Did he bowl?
No bowling, unfortunately.
I don't think he did any bowling there, so.
Which is a tragedy.
It's a tragedy. Oh, it looks like.
Oh, got a much better run than Nate Allen.
Well, Allen is the one passing, I think.
Nope. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, Allen is the one passing here on the inside. That's the line you want to take. You want to be on the inside in this braking zone here.
Oh, boy.
Oh, brakes very, very late. And Stoik is just like, thank you. I'll have that back. And also, Calvi is like, yeah, I'll take that position too.
Oh, no. Nate Allen.
For Nate Allen over here.
That is the worst pace scenario.
Oh
my goodness.
Is that what you just said, Doug?
That's their team name. See what I did there?
Oh, really?
Oh,
I didn't even know that.
That one went past me.
That's great. That is, honestly, out of team names out of 10, that is a 100.
Speaking of things that are great, Schaefer just put in a fastest lap of the race again with a 36.5.
Oh my gosh. I think my record on the track is like a 37.8. So.
Schaefer must have taken half fuel and new tires. Like that.
Yeah.
That's the only way this is happening.
Well, see, that's the thing too. You know, like some people do the splash, right? You know, it's like I don't want to save as much time
Oh my
as you
goodness gracious.
But some people are like, I got enough pace as long as I can have fresh tires that I'm gonna gain that time lost in the pits. And Schaefer was one to opt for that strategy. So.
It's working out for him.
Yeah, Schaefer just got past Nate Allen. That is P6. So the prediction of Schaefer lapping the whole field is not going to come to fruition because of his long pit stop, but has lapped pretty much majority of it.
Calvi
and Stoik again. Calvi's just on the inside into the braking zone. Looks like he is able to kind of take it, but the switchback.
Nice move.
Yeah. Oh, on the inside though, side by side, going into these set of currents here, and it looks like Kelvy is kind of able to secure the position here, going into the turn 3. I think that's 3 or 4.
4 into 5 here.
Yeah, 4 into 5. Now coming into this kind of harder turn here. I hate that turn right there. The braking zone is just so awkward.
Yep, and both drivers have to be concerned because Schaefer, if P1, is right behind the both of them. So you see, Stoik peels off, basically giving up the position. Calvi able to run away with it. Calvi, as a reminder, started in the pit lane, finds himself in P4.
What a drive!
His pace is crazy. I mean, his best lap's at 38, which is right on board with the top 4 here. So
I think he qualified 4th.
Yeah, so now he's back where he belongs right now. Just very consistent. No, very few mistakes. No major runoffs that I've seen here.
Oh, as we have, you just no major mistakes. As soon as you say that, he goes off track.
The commentator's curse here a little bit, going for a little bit of a dirt rally here.
No harm, no foul.
But yeah, he's able to let Schaefer by with not too much time lost there.
What are you looking at, Austin?
I was looking at Latrice going a little wide at turn. That was at 9. Turn 9, went for a little lawnmower and got back on track.
I don't really know what I'm looking at right now. Logan Schaefer just let past Calvi. I don't know why. Schaefer's in P1. He's be blue flagging the hell out of Calvi right now.
Maybe he accidentally tapped him or something.
Maybe.
Professional casters, by the way. We catch every moment. We're just not gonna show you this one.
It doesn't matter if you tap them. You're the blue flag. Like you're gonna get passed in the next like braking zone anyway. There he goes.
Yeah.
Very bizarre situation.
Yeah, very bizarre. It looks like we have a little gaggle of cars there.
We do, because Calvi was being held up by the exchange with Schaefer. Soik and Nate Allen again right on top of each other. These two are inseparable.
The two teammates are like, no, I want the position. No, I want the position.
That's unreal. Yeah.
Something just so nice about two liveries. Liveries of the same team just racing next to each other. I caught it this time, Doug. Right?
You did.
You can't fault me.
You did. I will fault you. I will fault you, but at least you addressed it.
Your ears are still not.
It hurts.
Fair enough. Have you talked about the banked straights on this map and what that how drivers can use that to their advantage?
I've talked about the embankment a little bit, but not to a great extent. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it.
Well, I'm sure you've covered, the basics of it. When you're, turning and you have an embankment, it helps your car, not lose traction as much because you have. Oh, we see a little bit of a runoff there.
What happened here?
Just it kind of helps that turning motion. Because the force pulling your car away is mitigated by the angle of the road.
Ooh, you're not wrong. Yeah, put less steering angle in because the embankment takes the momentum out of your car.
Yep.
So Nate Allen has a snap of basically sliding oversteer and then is able to catch it, which is nice. Good on him. He probably had to brake while right behind his teammate Soik, so. Braking and turning simultaneously is always a no-no.
Oh yeah, especially too when you change up your brake bias and all that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah, no kidding. Papadopoulos, we're back on board again. Taking the scenic route, taking a lunch break, just chilling on the side of the road.
Eating some grass here.
Yep. Insert Minecraft eating soundbite here.
Did I do it right?
Yeah,
no?
Yeah, that was good. Gaskin had a yellow flag moment also and elects to teleport straight to the pits. Tough on that one there, Austin. And then another driver having a moment. Last Rise is taking the scenic route.
Oh no, Soik. Oh. Sorry. I almost saw Nate Allen take out Soik.
Oh, we have to see that. Let's go back.
It was right on the main straight, and they go into it, and he slows down, and he's about to hit the sausage, but he's able to brake enough where he doesn't just launch his car into his teammate.
It was a close call, to say the least. Nate Allen is faster than Tim, and Tim, just through better execution of the pits and just less mistakes, is able to maintain the position, at least for now. That we still have 8 minutes to be able to decide whether that's going to be the case or not.
Oh yeah, and we've seen these guys hand positions back and forth like they're playing hot potato. So I mean, anything can happen in the last 10 minutes here.
Question. I can only imagine if they're in the same voice chat as each other, what is going on? It's gotta be like, come on, just let me pass. I'm gonna get the guy in front of you. He's no, you can't.
I promise I'll give you cookies.
To be fair, Tim has 7 seconds to the car in front. So, could that be managed? Maybe. But it's Nate Allen's fastest lap compared to Tim Soik is only 0.5 better. So, well, technically 0.6. So it's not like a drastic change in pace here.
Yeah, and two, we've seen multiple. I mean, this might just be two because they're racing so close to each other, but just miss breaking points and such. Like
that we
they
just
get
watched.
confident with trying to pass. Yeah, like we just watched right there. I feel like, you know, they have that anticipation of the pass, and they kind of forget their breaking points in their line. Sometimes you just have to, like, you know, drive. You know what I mean? Like, beware of the other drivers, but you got to know your lines. You got to know your breaking points, and then a move will present itself without you even realizing it.
That depends on many things. You know, you got to be at the right place at the right time with the right execution, you know?
Exactly. But if you're not focusing on getting those 3 things, then it will never happen.
Bingo. Well, it's kind of poetic that Lorenzo Ruda finds himself sandwiched between the two AMRs like he was all race before his go 30. So, just a fitting moment here. But we'll have to give the place up there because he is being blue flagged. And Nate Allen goes on his merry way to continue to attack his teammates. So, like, Gaskin's still in the pits, electing to basically call this a quits on the race here. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think once you teleport, you're stuck for like a ridiculous amount of time.
I think it's 3 minutes or so.
It depends on how basically the game does a calculation, kind of like a pit, like a tow penalty, if you will. It's like how far away you are from the pits compounds that, and then when you teleport to the pits, it uses whatever your MFD pit settings are. So if you have tires and damage, all that selected, it replaces all those, and that adds to your time.
Your wait time there.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
It's a huge burden, to say the least.
This is why we have you on the broadcasting team, Doug, because you know the nuances of it, and I did not know this. I just race. That's my brain is cargo.
Well, I mean, that's why we're here to learn, you know. And Doug's a very, very seasoned veteran of ACC. You know, knows things in and out.
I have almost 1,000 hours in this game.
I always like picking Doug's brain for tips and tricks of racing and whatnot. It looks like there's going to be a move with the teammates here again in a little bit.
They're side by side.
They want to make it. They want to make it so bad. There's the braking zone on the outside, carrying the speed. They're going into the S's now.
Oh!
It's so close here. They're going side by side, giving each other plenty of room here.
They come together. They come together.
One spin off right there. The other one's just like, yeah, I'll take that position back.
Oh
wow.
My goodness, the boys.
If you're Alan right now, you're probably like, bro, what the F? What the F, man? You spun me and then just drove off.
He also took a very tight line and to try to hit that apex.
At the end of the day, Alan and Soik are going to have to sit down and have a chat after this one.
They're going to have a long chat. They're going to be like, bro, what are you doing? No, what are you doing? No, what are you doing?
I was entitled to that line.
I was entitled to the racing line. Bro, I was right next to you.
We're going to have
anyways,
to
something for
give
the
him...
stewards to dabble over later if need be.
Yeah, give him the old campfire song.
See, MPFIRS, when you saw?
Campfire song?
Yeah, that one.
It'll help if you just sing along. Yeah.
I want to hear Doug sing again on stream.
The Twitch channel promotion going on right now is 25,000 channel points to make the broadcasting team talk in funny accents. So.
Wait, did somebody redeem that?
Not yet. It's a.
I'll just do it for free.
It's. Don't say that, because then we lose the intrinsic value of making us do it.
It's fun. You gotta do something I don't like. That'll entice people to do it.
Well, have you talked in an accent for 60 minutes straight? It's brutal.
I guess not.
It literally melts your mind.
I am very akin to, like, if I start out with one accent, I'll like shift into other accents like throughout. So like I could start like being an Australian, I'm end like an Indian. You know?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
You get a little spice of all the life.
I always have like certain catchphrases or like words that'll like set me into an accent.
I
so
get
like
that.
as long as I like say that like word or catchphrase or whatever, like like repeatedly or like often enough, like I'll like reset my accent. Otherwise, it'll like drift off into like something else.
Note to self,
So
do not let Jerry talk in accents. He's just going to say a lot of racist and stereotypical phrases in a certain
well, not racist, but no, like
JK.
Donald Trump. You just say
No,
you're
whoa.
wrong. You're wrong.
Polarizing.
Okay, I'm telling you wrong. Okay, Doug, you're wrong. See, that's his catchphrase.
Wow,
Run.
Jerry,
You
you're
just say that
incredible.
word, and I'm just like in the mode of Trump, you know? So,
Fair enough. Well, speaking of Trump, Schaefer is trumping the competition here. 43 seconds ahead of P2, despite having the longest pit stop of the day. Well, the second longest. Smith managed to have another 20 seconds on top of Schaefer's pit stop, which is hard to believe. I'm going to hold a pit stop strategy seminar and only offer it to members of D5 and D6.
well, Doug, if I have time, of course, will always be there to learn from you.
I'm going to have this pit stop seminar at 4 a.m. on a Tuesday and see who shows up.
I'll be there. I'm already going to be in your bedroom, so I mean... I'm just kidding.
You lost that privilege when you showed up late today. Austin sliding in tonight.
Shit, man. Doug, please. I don't want to be on the couch tonight.
Yeah, too late, sucker.
You guys were having that conversation, what was it, last race or last rise?
Last rise, yeah.
Last rise, okay. He did have a moment out of turn 7. Just seems like the tires are not kind to him, and they'll skate on ice.
Happens to the best of us. Well, as we heard the beloved ACC commentator mention, Schaefer is on the final lap. We are reaching the last sequence of corners, and what would otherwise be a textbook race, apart from the pit stop, is going to be coming to a smooth finish here.
Yep, Schaefer is going to take it as we expected, with that amazing fastest lap of a 36.5.
2 seconds faster than the next best person.
Schaefer, with that pace, you can take any type of pit strategy you want and come out on top, and that's what he has done here today in Indianapolis.
Schaefer, congratulations on your win and your soon-to-be promotion to a higher division, my friend.
We're just gonna put that on. He had 2 weeks of practice.
That's true. That's true. A lot can be achieved in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Especially with this community, with all the help that everybody gives.
You are not wrong.
And yeah, you're definitely right about that. And yeah, looks like some other drivers are finishing up as well. Here we see Calvi, Soik, Candola.
Yeah, Candola just finished P2. Fari Henry of the Badmans conglomerate finishing right now in P3 across the bricks. Nice job. Calvi, as previously mentioned, is already finished. Soik and Nate Allen finish, as you see the carnage of the foam pieces at the end there. Nate Allen ends up finishing behind Soik. I would love to be in that. I'd love to be in that voice chat right now. McAllister had a quiet. McAllister had a quiet race, but finishes in a very respectable P6. Ruda, after serving a fat penalty, finishing in P7, and Compton and Smith finish only a couple tenths away from each other. We just caught that at the end there. Let's see the final bit here. Compton going around the outside. Slows down and as Smith finishes across the finish line. Nice. Last rise in the pits and Gaskin in the pits. Neither driver finished the race.
Yeah, I think Smith and Ruda were both banging on the wheels like one more lap. Why didn't they have one more lap? Because they were pretty close to the driver in front there on that last lap.
You are not wrong.
I honestly, I want
Jerry,
to
do you have admin privileges in this race?
I can.
Clear McAllister's penalty, please, before
Oh
the
shit.
disqualification is their final penalty.
Fuck, I need to do this real quick.
Yep, real quick.
All right. All right. What's the
Oh,
command
they
for it?
just left. Okay, that'll be something that we have to sort out later.
Well, I didn't. Oh, is it /clear number? Okay.
It's
I
just
just made
you can
myself
just
admin, so I
clear,
was.
just clear all, but it's too late now.
Oh, clear all. Okay. All right. Well, that's something for the back end to do.
The back end is terrible for that, so I can't wait to give that to somebody else to manage.
Well, that would have been nice to have a little bit more heads up, but I'm sorry I couldn't get to it
Oh,
there.
good. Oh, good. Cool. Well, let's get some interviews in here, shall we?
I want to pull Nate Allen in here.
Oh, we're pulling both Nate Allen and Tim at the same time. You already know that's what we're doing.
All right.
Because we're just savages like that. So let's see here.
Are they even?
I
Oh,
do
they're.
not
I think they're in their team chat, right?
I don't see them in team chats.
Maybe they just
Maybe they just are bickering somewhere else right now.
feast. Yeah. Well, if you're listening to the stream, Nate Allen.
Oh, we're not streaming, we're recording, so
We're
little
recording.
different.
Okay.
Little different.
Okay. Well.
Well, let's get
Yeah.
Logan Schaefer in here. Logan, we just stole you into the D6 stream here. Obviously, today was easy breezy, lemon squeezy. How'd you feel?
Then I am sorry. I feel a mix of great, fantastic, and an immense guilt.
Well, we were chalking it up to the fact that you had 2 weeks of practice and you have gained an immense amount of knowledge and skill in those 2 weeks. Is that the case?
It's a mix of that, and I'm just having more confidence in my driving style. Bit of both.
Well, that's not a bad thing. I mean, at the
Yeah,
end of the day, D6 is a place to really get the best out of what you're doing, to learn, and then if you happen to, you know, improve faster than those around you, you get a promotion.
Yeah.
What's
I
not to
wanted
like?
to yeah, I mean I wanted to like there was a I think it was Henry, I think that's how you say it. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. Ferry. I wanted to battle him, but even though he was being away with the blue flag, because I thought that'd be fun. But and he well, what happened was second to last, no, third to last corner, he spun out, and I was like, whatever. Then I felt like I cut him off, so then I kind of just let him back in. I don't know if you guys caught that, but
We were
it was
watching, and we were a little bit confused what was going on. We are like, oh, he's definitely just playing with his food at this point. So
no, I just wanted to have fun. I wasn't playing with food.
good,
He
good.
just seemed he just had that fun vibe, I guess, and I was like, I want to have fun with you. But then the blue flag came, and I was like, I get it.
Heard. Well,
Oh crap! I forgot to.
we anticipate you earning a promotion to a higher division. Are you prepared to take your skills to a different division?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it won't feel like as much as a bloodbath, so that's
Good,
gonna be a plus.
good. Well, we appreciate how humble you are. Jerry, do you have anything to ask Mr. Schaefer?
What's your favorite color?
Red.
And
Nice.
the livery, yeah?
Well, actually,
Yeah.
it's more like a red, gray, and yeah, red, gray, white, and black. That's
Yeah,
usually my faves.
yeah. Well,
Nice.
I wonder where they
we
are.
see that in your livery, so I mean,
Yeah.
very well done on that.
Actually, fun fact about that: a lot of the some of the sponsors on there are just stuff I have on my car. White Line, great. Race Egg, great. Cobb, give or take, it's great.
Cobb, I had Cobb on my 335i, and it was nice. But yeah, definitely a testy software.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
it's all it. I mean, depending on what you get, it's pretty good. Like some of their bolt-ons are pretty good, but
Mhm.
I am upset they have a basically a monopoly on the VAWX. I am very upset at that.
Well, that is a very
Upsetting statement.
yeah, that's a controversial statement. So we can take that to the Discord forums and go and start a new thread. Well, Logan, thank you for your performance tonight, and honestly, I appreciate how humble you're being about your win tonight.
Thanks.
Yeah, this D5, D6, these are arenas of improvement, and You showed a lot of grace tonight, so thank you for that.
God, it was so
Yeah.
great because I was like, oh, I don't have to worry about setting hot laps now. I can just kind of sort of just mentally float. That's what I was doing.
That's great. That's great.
We love to float here. So, well, thanks Logan for coming in, man, and
We'll
good
see you again
race,
next
and
week.
maybe see you in D5 racing next time.
All right, cool. I'm gonna go into race review because I want to take a look.
I'll drag you down there, buddy. Have a good rest of your night.
Sounds good.
You too. Night, guys.
Night.
And with that, I do see a Nate Allen in race review 3. If we want to pull it up.
I got
we're
him.
already
Both of
on
them.
it. Hello.
Tim
he
immediately
left.
left. Nate, do you want to
So,
spend some time with us?
Yes, I would love it.
Nate.
Bring me in. This was my first time in the cool down room. All of a sudden I feel cool.
You should. You should feel
Yeah, you're hanging
absolutely.
out with 3 studs.
Yeah. You should be just bathing in just a just glow right now. But
Drip.
I want to talk about your battle with your teammate. What was? Tell me you guys were in a voice chat together the race.
No, we weren't. But
Oh
we,
no!
Oh.
we're definitely we walked away from it like totally cool. Like it was just some good racing. He apologized to me. He's like, man, I think that was my fault. I apologized to him. I was like, nah, man, I don't know. I think that was my fault. And there was a couple of times, and I'm like, let me apologize. Like there was a couple of turns where I was on the inside, which means that I needed to have I needed to brake sooner, and I failed to do so, which meant that I just went careening across the lane, making it look like I was intentionally trying to dive bomb. I was like, dude, I promise you I wasn't. He's like, no, I get it, man. So it was some just good hard racing, and I think we really enjoyed it.
It looked like you guys were scrapping, and I wanted nothing more than for you guys just to be screaming at each other in a voice chat. Just get off my ass!
No, quite the opposite. In fact, quite the opposite.
Well, you guys are good teams.
Well,
Yeah,
I thought it was all going pretty smooth as far as your racing until I think it was a later lap where it was right at the end of the S's. Somebody was taking the racing line and I think kind of spun the other out. I'm not sure if that was you or the other guy.
Yeah, Nate had the lower of the bottom half of that equation. And the door banging equated to a little bit of a spin, but it was fun to watch.
Yeah, at that moment I was like, if there's not sparks flying now, I don't know what's going on.
That was the exact moment where he was like, hey, I apologize. I think that was my fault. And I was like, no, I honestly, like, it might have been mine. I'm not even sure, but we weren't like mad about it at all. We both walked away from it, just, doing the proverbial handshake, if you will.
Good.
Well, that's good to hear. I was expecting a ticket for every single corner. So as a steward, I thank you for being able to, take the gentleman's way. Unless you want to put it, I mean, don't let me stop you. Don't let me stop you. But yeah, I mean, I was expecting to see 10 tickets come in for this guy dive bombed me on every single corner.
I know, man, and that's what I told him. I'm like, dude, I feel so bad. Like I swear I was not trying to dive bomb. And so I don't know. Maybe it was me who was at fault on the end of that S turn. I know it was me who was at fault for like a couple of dive bombs on the inside, which I didn't mean to. I know that was my fault, but if that's the case, if I'm at fault for the entire night, then props to Tim Soik, because he was a gentleman and a scholar about the whole thing.
We'll leave that to the stewarding team, including myself. To try and figure all that kind of stuff out later. I'm reminding me of all the work we got to do.
yeah, between two guys. I'm going to be fucking heated, like, if it comes out that the first, and the only in this race, if the first penalty in D6 lands on my shoulders, I'm going to be like, are you fucking serious?
that would be very, very
I feel like there's a high probability of that.
Nate, if you take the crown off the helms of the kings and queens of D6, there's gonna be bloodshed.
I know it, man. I'll never live it
there
down.
Totally is. I mean, it's easy to kind of blend in with the penalties when there's 10 of them, but when there's one in your division, you stand out like a sore thumb, Nate.
That's right.
So keep that in mind.
hey, at least I'll be on top of like a pedestal in some regard.
Yeah, you'll be on top of the pedestal for a bad thing.
That's right.
It's not where you want to be.
Finally.
Where you want to be.
I know.
Well, buddy, glad you had a good time, and we look forward to seeing you again next week.
Hell yeah, that was awesome, man. Thanks, fellas.
You bet.
Yep,
Take
see
it
you,
easy,
Nate.
man.
Yeah, super chill guy there. And I'm a little disappointed they weren't yelling at each other, but I'm glad they were able to kind of, make up and, be humble about it.
They're being
For
good
the most part there.
good teammates
Yeah,
there.
exactly. I think we were watching them for a good quarter of the race here at least. So
Yeah. Harvey, you got a minute to do a little interview?
Sure.
Oh,
I think
I thought he said sure, and then
I
he
could have
left.
sworn. Are you
Oh,
down to do an
hello?
interview? Oh, got left again?
no.
That's okay. That's
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Well, I wanted to interview him because one, he had a great race, and then two, Harvey Kendall is actually a new sponsor of SRA, and his company Documise is one of our first business tier supporters of the league. So that's really exciting stuff, and we'll be seeing his content added to the affiliates pages soon. So that's exciting.
Nice.
Yeah, we're growing
It's
over
always
here.
good to grow the community and get some more people and some more options and just kind of like you said, grow.
His investment's going to help us start a batch of merch. So I'm excited to dive more into that realm because people are excited about SRA, and if we can proceed to go down that path and have people wear our brand, it's exciting stuff. So.
Oh yeah, I mean that and the admin fund. Don't forget, I don't have a cruise yet this year, so anybody that wants to, support our sponsors, none of that will go to the admin fund. Right, Doug?
He couldn't be further from the truth. I have a Mediterranean cruise coming up that's solely funded through SRA. So, no, all jokes aside.
Are you gonna go see Papadopoulos?
Yeah, we're gonna have tzatziki sauce together.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I could use some tzatziki sauce right now.
Oh, Harvey's saying that he can do it. I'll drag you in.
Drag him in.
Let's see here if he sticks around and he's quick on the keyboard. Where did he go?
I just don't know. Like, was he getting kicked out, or was he just accidentally leaving?
I think he was clicking the wrong button, but that's okay. I don't even see him in the mix anymore. So,
that's unfortunate.
Yeah, no big deal. But, gentlemen, any parting words for tonight's race?
No, I think we got a lot of it covered. I mean, again, from looking for us, there didn't seem like there was too many incidents. I didn't catch, the first 15 minutes of the race. I didn't know how was lap one pretty clean for you guys?
It was great.
That's good. Yeah. So I mean, D6, I think definitely kind of keeping that clean racing going for the most part there. So yeah, keep that going, guys, and keep learning, and yeah, just keep on trucking.
Austin?
Yeah, a good race, fun to watch. Some good battles. They kept it clean. Couple incidents, but overall, it was a lot of clean racing, which was good to see.
Couldn't agree more. Makes me a happy admin when we have people going out on race night and having a good time and showing respect on track. So, with that being said, we're going to call it a night. Thank you, SRA Nation. Thank you, D6, for a good time. And we will see you again next week.
Good night, folks.
Would you like an apple pie with that? Would you like an apple pie with that?